Hi guys, in this video we'll be doing Chapter 3, Lab 3-3, OSPF, Virtual Links and Area Summarization. Okay, let's just do the initial setup here. So we're on router 0 here, so I'll just go to conft and then I'll go host name. Just bear with me, this is a really dodgy keyboard that I'm on. Love it how I blame the equipment for all my feelings, but that's great, that's how I roll. Okay. And curse this gamer keyboard. Okay, conft hostname router 2 interface conft hostname router 3. Okay, so we've identified the routers. Everything else is once again stock standard. Okay, so we'll be setting up the loopback for the engineering department first. Okay, for that, it'll be the standard config as before. Okay, and then now there'll be an additional one which will be loopback 30. So interface loopback 30 IP address. And the IP address for that will be 172.30.30.1. Okay, so that's 252. Okay, and then now we'll do the serial interface. It'll be okay, no shut. Now that's that done. So basically, router 1 will have loopback 1, which is the engineering department, and loopback 30, which is 172.30.30.1. Okay, and then we'll go into leave that there. Show IP interface brief, just to make sure that I've activated all the things I needed to activate. Okay, that looks fine. Now we go to router 2. Now in router 2 we have the marketing department as before, so the config will be the same for that. So I'll just dump that in. Marketing department, that's done. Now then you've got loopback. Then you've got the serial 1/0, which is for the 10.1.23 network. We'll get out of that and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so we have serial 1/0, and that is the 10.1.23 network that goes to router 2, and interface 001/1 goes to, that's router 1, so it'll be 10.1.12.1, and then we set the clock rate on that side. Okay, so that is that bit done. Now there are no additional loopbacks to that. That's basically stock standard as is. Now what I need to do, which I didn't do before, is no shut. So then I go in and make sure that these have to be no shut. Alrighty, show IP. Show IP interface brief. Okay, as you can see that that's up, and show CDP neighbor. Okay, let's see if I can ping itself. I can ping across the network. So what's the story? Show CDP neighbors. There you go. Cool. It's just a bit of the timeout, and it requires CDP needs a couple of seconds for it to, because it polls every, I think it's 60 seconds, or I'm sure someone can like enlighten me on account of which one that will be. Now, so basically that was what's working. So we've got router 1, show CDP neighbor, router 2, so that's working fine. So basically 1 and 2 are done. Now router 3. Okay, so finally we go into router 3 here, and it's the accounting department, I think it is. And let's just check, and yes it is. So that's the IP address of the accounting department. And then there are a whole host of other interfaces here that they've put in. So it's loopback 100. And the IP address for loopback 100 is 192.168.100.1. And then loopback 101. I'm sure everyone can follow what I'm doing here. I would type them out again, but I'm colossally lazy. And the up arrow is a real awesome tool if you know what you're doing. And if you make sure you, what's it called, proofread your config after you're finished. Okay, so that's 3. And all loopback addresses begin enabled. And then finally we go to the serial 0 interface, serial 1/0. Exit out of that for clarity's sake, and you can see that that's the case. And the clock rate is set on this side, and I do a no shut, and that interface should come up. Boom, there you go. Show IP interface brief. There's all your loopbacks, 100, 101, 102, 103 with the respective IPs. They're all up and running. Loopback 3 is also there, and then serial 1/0 is there, up and up. If I do a show CDP neighbor, no, still nothing. Just like before. Now if I go ping, I ping its own IP address. So basically it tells me that the interface is up and running, and then I go to 2, which is the other side of it. Yes, it is working. And show CD neighbor, still not up, still not up. You know for an absolute fact it works, I can ping across it. Okay, we'll just give it a couple of seconds. In that time I will just go to show run to give you a little bit of a look at actually what the config looks like. You got interface number 3. Okay, loopback, sorry, that was a loopback. Loopback 102, blah blah blah. And then you've got, great. So now I go show IP interface brief. Show CDP neighbor. There it is. Cool, wonderful. So that is step 1. That's the basic configuration for this lab. Check the show notes for the network diagram, and basically just the little matrix of that I'm going to put in there, which is what interface is what IP and blah blah blah. Yeah, and check in on the next video. Thank you. Bye.